Time to wake up. It's Saturday morning. Find some milk and cereal. Grab a bowl and spoon. No, a bigger spoon. Head to the living room and take a seat on the floor while Joseph and Chris present to you Saturday Morning Cartoon!
Hello everybody, welcome to Saturday Morning Cartoon Boom! This is a show where we wake with the Saturday morning sun, popped on the floor with a big bowl of sugary cereal, and watch all your favorite cartoons, both old and new. I'm Joseph.
And I'm Chris.
And this morning we watched One Punch Man!
This was suggested to us by David Bond via Facebook, and I knew that this was something that, had it not been suggested, you were going to suggest it for sure.
Yeah, it was just kind of a happenstance thing because we'd been talking about it, and I promise when we randomly chose that number at the end of the episode, it was completely random, and
It really
I didn't even
was.
believe Chris until he showed me a picture of the ranker list.
Yep.
And it was meant to be. So One Punch Man started in 2015, at least the anime did, and is still going. Season 2 actually just came out in April. It's created by a man mysteriously known as Only One, like all caps O-N-E. And the screenplay for this, or the show, the anime itself, was written by Tomohiro Suzuki, produced by Madhouse for season 1 and JC Staff for season 2. So far, it's run for 2 seasons, 17 episodes, and then there are also 7 OVAs, or original video animations. None of those I think I've seen, but I don't think there's any further reveal as to like how he became the way he is outside of just straight training, which we'll go into, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous, but yes.
Yeah. And it aired originally on TV Tokyo in Japan, then also on Animax Asia and Adult Swim on Toonami. For short synopsis, the story of Saitama, a hero that does it just for fun and can defeat his enemies with a single punch.
I like that. He's a hero for fun. That's what I would want to do, because I don't want any other responsibility.
No, of course.
Like, I'd be fine doing like an Iron Man kind of thing, but like, I don't want people to get like too needy about it.
The less they know about you, the better. It's just fun for you.
Yeah, because like, if I'm going to the bathroom, I'm not going to pinch it off early just to go save somebody. So like, there's got to be a line.
So wait, did you watch the subtitled or the dubbed version of this?
I watched the dub because I figured you're going to watch the sub.
Oh, I sure did.
Yeah, I knew every time that's typically what we do, so I stuck with it.
I've never seen any of the dubbed version, so how was it?
It was good.
Who were some of the actors who did the American voices?
So really, there's only 2 consistent characters throughout this entire series, so that's who I stuck with. Of course, the voice of Saitama in Japan was Makoto Furukawa, and then in the American version, Max Middleman, and then Genos, who in Japan was voiced by Kaito Ishikawa, and then in the American version, Zach Aguilar. So yeah, I mean, I was kind of surprised when I first looked at this cast, and I'm like, oh, there's only 2 main characters. That's weird. But it's just, there's so many other characters that just kind of come and go through this whole thing. So it's kind of fun.
And the main focus is, of course, Saitama, but Genos does, once Genos comes in, I think in episode 2, like he's pretty much with him the entire time because he's his disciple after that.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering where he came from because we skipped the episode, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah, he just comes in, he wants to train under him because he sees how ridiculously strong he is, and he's trying to live up to that. And you get to see sort of in episode 3, I don't want to skip ahead. We'll talk about it when we get there. So,
We'll talk about it.
For a few tasty marshmallows out of our big bowl of One Punch cereal, the character design of Saitama came as a pun of gag anime superhero Anpan Man. So instead of like One Pun Man, it's Anpan Man, and that means bread man.
Bread man.
Yeah, if you look at the design of Anpan Man, he looks almost exactly like One Punch Man's outfit, and he's bald and everything, except it's like instead of primarily being red with some yellow highlights, it's yellow with some red highlights. So I'm going to send you a picture of that in a little bit, and then you can see what I mean.
Yeah.
Also, so this is an ongoing Japanese superhero webcomic originally created by One back in 2009, and the series quickly went viral, surpassing 7.9 million views in 2012.
Jeez.
And if you look at the original artwork for it, you wouldn't even understand why. Like, it's very raw artwork.
Yeah, That's kind of what surprised me, because most of the imagery I've seen of One Punch Man at all is the manga. And so, like, I guess I'd never looked up any distinction. So going into this, I was expecting the animation to be really bad.
Well, because there was the original manga or the, webcomic manga. And then there was, which I'll go into in a second, kind of the remastering of it, quote unquote,
Yeah.
I guess. But I'll talk about it in a minute. So one said that punching is oftentimes pretty useless against life's problems. But inside One Punch Man's universe, he made Saitama a sort of guy who was capable of adapting his life to the world that surrounds him, only armed with his immense power. The only obstacles he faces are mundane things like running short of money. So that's kind of a really unique take on the superhero genre in general.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Because you see, all the time, superheroes who start really weak and then build themselves up to some sort of heroic level. But in this, it's kind of like, he's already at like 100%. Like, he's already at that heroic level. So it's like, now what does he do? Like, what does he do with his time?
Yeah, he gets bored.
Yeah, basically. So what I was talking about earlier, so one was contacted by artist Yuzuki Murata about a possible partnership where Murata would redraw the manga for One, because he'd been a huge fan of One Punch Man. And at the time he contacted One, he was very ill and thought he was going to die. So,
Jesus.
Yeah, so he was like, well, if I'm going to die, I want to do something that I really love doing. So I want to draw manga with Mr. One, or his thoughts.
I get, like, if I'm going to die making somebody's creation way better than they can. So
kind of, yeah. And also,
like,
he was already an artist on Weekly Shonen Jump, that magazine in Japan.
Oh, yeah.
And so he was the one who was able to basically get him into that magazine because he loved his comics so much that he redrew it and then started distributing it on the Weekly Shonen Jump. So
nice.
That's just a very cool connection. And that's really kind of what led to the popularity that it has now. Not that it wasn't popular before, but it's like now it's like huge.
Oh, it's everywhere now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody knows One Punch Man.
Had you heard of it before this? I mean, you haven't seen it before, but you'd heard of it.
I definitely heard of it, and I was kind of avoiding it specifically because I figured we were going to do it eventually, and it had so much hype to it. I'm like, okay, I want to get a genuine reaction for this one. I knew it would be coming, so yeah, like I didn't know anything about it other than what the guy looked like, and I had only seen, and I guess now I'm looking at it, it wasn't the original manga drawings that One did. But the adapted manga drawings is the only thing that I knew, and the images of Saitama were very. I mean, he's not very detailed and stuff. Like, he's not drawn very detailed. Like, usually not a lot of shading on his head or anything like that. So I was just kind of like, okay, this is going to be a pretty basic looking show, I'm guessing. But no, there's quite a bit to it.
Well, he's not detailed until he goes into like serious mode where he gets everything. Yeah. All his features get really sharp.
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting too, like how they did that, because you do get kind of both versions in the anime.
Look at your messenger real quick. I sent you a picture of Anpan Man.
Oh my goodness, I love him.
Yeah, but doesn't it look almost exactly like a cartoonized or more cartoonized version of?
Okay, yeah, that reminds me of something we saw in the first episode.
Well, I think we should start talking about it then, because my experience with it is I had seen this, at least the first season before, but it had been a while, so I had to do some catching up again. But let's start talking about the episodes we watched for today's show. The very first episode, highest rated episode, and finally a random listener chosen episode. Order may vary depending on how these episodes fall chronologically, but of course I have to start with the very first episode, which was The Strongest Man, Season 1, Episode 1, where One Punch Man is, well, the actual description of this was, One Punch Man is too strong and growing tired of his weak enemies. Will he ever be faced with a real challenge?
Will he? I don't know.
So we start out with a purple or bluish, veiny Piccolo looking guy.
Okay, yeah, this looked like, and David Bond's going to be really happy about this. This looks like Sawboss boinked Piccolo and made like an eggplant demon baby.
Yeah,
that's exactly what this looks like.
This thing is called Vaccine Man, and it's apparently a monster that the Earth has created to basically rid the world of humans who are trashing the planet.
I think Vaccine Man is why so many people have become anti-vaxxers. I think they're afraid their kid's going to turn into vaccine man.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, I mean, we're just quoting them wrong. They're not saying they're anti-vaxxers. They're anti-vaccine
They're
man.
anti-vaccine.
We're just misunderstanding.
Anti-vaccine manners.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it is.
Right off the bat, like we just kind of see a little bit of the city, so we can see what's going on. There's an explosion. That's where Eggplant Piccolo is, and or Boss Piccolo. So like the very beginning, we see that explosion with Eggplant Piccolo, and we see for a brief second a guy dressed as Anpan Man on the ground. So I'm glad you sent that to me, because it's this superhero guy in a red outfit and cape with the smiley face on his outfit, and we can't see his face. So I was like, what is this? So who's this smiley face dude that's dead? I was like, oh, okay, cool. So now I kind of get where that reference is coming from.
Yeah. And then we see how, like, so Saitama, like, confronts Eggplant Piccolo, and he is, like, telling him his full backstory. Or no, first, Saitama tells him his thing where he's just like, I'm just a hero for fun. He gets so upset, Vaccine Man does, so he just, like, goes into his, like, ultimate, like, terrifying transformation, telling him about how he's defending Mother Earth because the humans are stealing her life force or whatever. Then Saitama just literally uppercuts him or something, and it makes him explode. So his signature one punch, that's when we get the flashback to 3 years ago where it kind of started.
That's one thing I love about like the humor of the show, where like you get something like the Eggplant Piccolo dude, Vaccine Man, giving that long exposition. And like before he's done, Saitama just punches him and kills him before he even finishes talking. I love that. He's just like, all right, let's move this along. Like I got other things I want to do.
Something you learn pretty quick about Saitama is he's not a patient man. Surprisingly,
I know.
He does not like.
I love it.
He likes people to wrap things up in 20 words or less, like because everyone goes on these long expositions, and he's just like, "Come on, hurry up."
I feel like that's, if you were a superhero, that would be you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I relate to him so much, like with his general boredom and everything.
Yeah, you're just like, man, can we just? I want to go fight something else. Can we?
Yeah, can we just go? Can we just do it? So this is where like one of the most hilarious villains gets introduced after the flashback. Dude. So Crablante, he became this giant, like anthropomorphic crab who still had human legs and wore boxers. And his origin story was he ate too much crab. Like that was it. He ate too much crab, and so he turned into Crablante. Like Saitama is still just a regular dude at this point, and he's not running from him. So he's like, "Why are you not running?" And he's just like, "Man, I failed another interview. Like I don't have much to live for anymore, so I'm just not gonna run." And Crablante was like, "Well, you have lifeless eyes like mine, so I'm just gonna let you go."
He's just like, "Well, you're a loser like me."
Yeah,
all right.
And he kept doing this laugh that I'm gonna definitely put on there. That was just like,
"Goo goo 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 goo."
Well, see, that's not what it sounded like in the Japanese version. It was like,
okay, what does it sound like for you? Oh God, no!
I'll put them both. I'll put them both on there.
Sound like a chicken?
No. I can't even like remember it exactly, but I wrote it down like that, where it's like it was almost like a coo 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 coo.
No, we were getting like a goo 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 goo.
Yeah, so there's a point in the middle that we can meet and both be right.
Bad.
Yeah, it was bad either way. He tells him that he's hunting this big chin brat.
Oh my God, this kid
has a literal butt chin. Like you think about when people say butt chins, they've got those like little indentions there. I've got one too, but it's not extreme. But this kid's is like an actual butt on his chin.
It's so funny.
Yeah. And so he wants to kill this kid because, well, first of all, he's just walking down the street killing everybody who gets in his way. But he wants to kill the kid specifically because he drew nipples on him, on his crab body with permanent marker. And he can't, with his crab claws, get a rag or anything to wipe it off. So he's very furious with this kid.
I love the logic of this.
Yeah.
I can't grab a rag to wipe it off, so I'm gonna get revenge and kill this person.
This just shows you like the attitude of this show. It's just so hilarious. And the ate too much crab and he transformed, and no one even like blinks an eye about that. They're just like, okay,
yeah, they just accept it. Like,
this is your origin. Yeah,
yeah. I love that. And man, like, so Saitama tries to defend this kid. I mean, kind of by instinct, like he doesn't actually want to, but he finds himself doing it. And then the crab dude starts beating him up, but then he pulls his belt off, wraps it around one of this crab dude's eyes. You know how the crabs, like their eyes kind of stick out a little bit, and like pulls it through his body with what I assume is like every freaking innard this guy has attached to it, like brains, anything, just rips right through it. And I was like, oh dang, man.
Yeah,
gross.
In this episode, we also get to see him fighting some like
this dude like straight out of Attack on Titan.
Oh,
basically.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like, okay, so it's these brothers. Older brother is like a scientist, and his younger brother is like training to be the strongest man alive. And so the scientist gives him this serum, and he drinks it and becomes this like gigantic, like you said, Titan. And he starts to go around just destroying the city. And he's so happy because he's now the strongest man alive. And, Saitama has to go and try to stop him. But what he does, he jumps up on his shoulder at first. And this is where it's
God, this made me laugh so hard.
Yeah, this is great. Where the brother tells him, like, he's on your shoulder, like, crush him. And so you just see him, like, swat the wrong shoulder, and he just crushes his brother. And he looks at his hand, and he just screams out loud.
I mean, there is something, like, awful and terrible about it. Like, the horror of that, but oh my God, that was
especially
funny.
When you see his hand, and it's like a smushed mosquito.
It's just barely anything left.
Yeah.
It's just a smear, basically.
Yeah.
God. Oh, God. I didn't expect that to happen, and it really caught me off guard, and it was one of the best moments of this show to me. Man, I love it.
So he throws Saitama off his shoulder and then just starts like wailing on him, punching him around, and then just like knocks him into the ground and starts like doing a little combo of repeated punches on him. And then again, like Saitama's just like on his shoulder, just like, hey, what's up? And then again, one punch is all that it takes to knock this thing out. But unfortunately, it falls the wrong direction, like onto a bunch more city.
He destroys the city.
And he's like, whoops.
Oh, there were so many good villains in this. Like, we got that car guy that was hilarious.
The custom car loving monster, yeah.
Yeah, and he starts giving, like, while the car dude's flipping out, Saitama's just having an internal monologue about how boring his life is and stuff. And then he just, one punch kills it. What threw me for a loop was when he's sleeping and he gets ripped out of his apartment by the all those subterraneans that, like, while he was asleep, they managed to kill like 70% of the world already.
Yeah.
They're actually like not beating him, but they're a challenge, and he's like, yes, finally, like I actually feel, alive, and he's like all happy and stuff about it and stuff, and having a good time fighting them. Right as the subterranean king shows up, who's this big, massive, scary dude. But then he wakes up and it was all a dream.
And then the real subterraneans come up, and they're just
he's this little
tiny in
guy.
comparison. And he just jumps on the king's head and crushes him. And the rest of them just like wave a white flag, like, we're sorry.
Yeah, I love that. He's like, well, I mean, it kind of like renewed his spirit a little bit, even though it wasn't what he wanted. He's just like, okay, yeah, I can be a superhero. But yeah, he turns around to see all the little subterraneans have already left, and they just left a little white flag that says sorry.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
He's such an interesting character in that, like, he's not your typical hero who's all about saving the day for the sake of humanity. I mean, he wants that, yeah, but he's mainly doing it to have a good time, to feel exhilarated, and to get some kind of rush out of it.
Yeah.
And the more he's trained and the more powerful he's gotten, that rush has subsided because he's literally beating everything in one punch, and it's become such a mundane task for him now that he is just it's meaningless and boring to him to even be a hero.
You know, what I can equate it to is if you've ever put in cheat codes on a video game and then like there's just no challenge anymore. Like, it's just boring, or if you like level up too much. Like,
yeah.
I remember back in the day, I'll still play this game because I love it. Playing Fable, and I found this way to max out a lot of your attributes using this little save tactic in the arena. I was like, oh, this is kind of fun for like 2 minutes. And then I'm like, God, this is boring. Like, I wish I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, it's because at that point, like everything else kind of loses meaning, where it's like, why then go after any other treasures, any other items? Why then try to progress any further? You've reached the zenith now, so there's just no further journey to take, and that's kind of where he's at.
Yeah, he's kind of like the opposite of Goku, where somehow Goku keeps finding new ways to power up, even though you think he's reached max. Like he just can't reach that max level. Apparently.
Well, because he's fighting enemies who are getting progressively stronger. Where Saitama, the enemies level has kind of like tapered off, and he has just already hit a level above where they can even get. So at least so far, I haven't seen any of season 2, so I don't know what kind of challenges await him here. But season 1 is pretty much all him just kind of punching his way through it.
It'd be like if Goku achieved like the blue Super Saiyan power when he was still a kid fighting Emperor Pilaf. You'd kill him with a sneeze.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. One sneeze man.
Yeah. One sneeze man. Oh, I love that.
So yeah, that's kind of the dilemma that Saitama's facing. And we'll go into the next episode now, which was The Obsessive Scientist, season 1, episode 3. And this was my pick because I just enjoyed the buildup that it had, and really the mislead that was in there too, that we'll talk about. But in this one, Saitama and Genos track down an evil scientist who wants to know the secret to Saitama's power.
God, I love the exposition we get at the beginning. Or I love what happens with the exposition. Like, we're seeing the life of the scientist play out, where he was young, and he was almost like the Saitama of the science world, where he was just so far advanced and nobody could keep up with him. And he's doing all these experiments because, experiments that he shouldn't be doing in the eyes of the rest of the science community. And he kind of made himself a loner because of that, because he was just so smart. He is like, turns himself back young. Once he's like age 70, he goes back to what looks like maybe age 20 or 30. He clones a bunch of himself. He makes these new animals. And this whole thing is being like narrated by like this really deep, interesting voice. But then it just kind of pulls away and you find that it's like Saitama and his buddy Genos are like, they have this gorilla dude pinned against the wall, and it's the gorilla dude that's been telling the story, and they like interrupt him, and he's just like, hey, you need to hurry this up. Like, where is he now?
Yeah, that was like a direct lead off from episode 2 that had him fighting these animal warrior type things that looked like, again, they were going to be a huge challenge. And then he just he comes in and destroys most of them. And then just this armored gorilla, which is his name, is the only one who's left. And he kind of takes all his limbs off. So he's just sort of laying there. And that's where they get the explanation out of him.
And I love the payback we get from this joke here, but like where he's kind of like, Saitama's telling Genos, like, all right, we gotta get there and stop him. And he's like, now? And he's like, well, yeah. He's like, there's a sale tomorrow, so we can't do it tomorrow. He really wants to go to this supermarket sale so bad.
Oh yeah, the way that comes back is wonderful, but
it is the greatest thing ever. So is Genos, is he a cyborg? Is he all robotic? Like, what is he?
He's a cyborg. I can't remember exactly what his backstory was. It was all in episode 2, but a scientist helped him to kind of recreate his body, and I'm pretty sure, I haven't seen episode 2 in a while, so I don't remember exactly, but I think it was something to that effect.
Got it. Okay, so he's basically a cyborg.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah. So once the scientist whose name escapes me of the House of Evolution, the guy who you were talking about earlier who cloned himself, once he finds out that Saitama's on his way, he's like, okay, well, he beat all my most powerful animal warrior people, so now we need to bring out Carnage Kabuto, who is the insanely strong, unmatched in his power, so much so that it drove him insane. Or that he can't be controlled, and so he has to be locked up.
Yeah, and the scientist clones are kind of freaked out that he's going to this, and they kind of urge him not to, but he says, no, we got to, as a last resort. And so he brings him out, and what's funny is he started killing clones immediately, and I was like, oh, that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
But, he's this big, giant, scary-looking dude, but, like, Carnage, Kabuto, like immediately was just kind of like, once he got a good look at Saitama, he was just like, nope, no thanks. And he just immediately backs off, and he's like, this guy's so strong, like I don't understand.
Well, there was more to it. So first he was trying to just explain, like how he's stronger and this guy doesn't impress him. But then he does this thing, like Kabuto does this thing where he like rushes up to him and is about to make a killing blow on him. And then it like, you just see him like tense up, like because Saitama is kind of just looking back at him. And it's like his animal instincts kick in and tell him like, are warning him about like imminent danger. And he's kind of telling himself like, if I had tried to hit him just now, he would have killed me. And that's why he does that like beetle thing where he just flutters away to like the back of this battle area.
I like that too. This big, giant, creepy monster thing. And his little beetle wings pop out and he flutters backwards.
Yeah.
That's just great. All the monster designs are so fantastic in this show.
Oh, I know. They're so great. And this is where they're just like, how are you so powerful? I think he asked him, Carnage Kabuto does, and he's like, everyone's listening because they all want to know his secret. And we get to hear his regiment, his training regiment, which is the secret to his power is 3 years of 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and a 10-kilometer run, which is about 6.2 miles every single day for 3 years.
Yeah.
And now that made him the most powerful man alive.
I wonder what Jeff from Athlete X would think about that. Like I feel like he would still be like, yeah, but are you training like an athlete?
But everyone's saying like, there's no way that's it because that's just basic training. Like that's not even that intense.
Yeah, Genos was like, that's not even that hard. He's so mad.
So Genos thinks he's joking. It kind of infuriates Kabuto to the point where he goes into Carnage mode, where he's like, for the next week, I'm going to be, in Carnage mode, and I'll just be destroying everything in my path, and I can't be stopped or controlled.
Until next Saturday.
It looks like Saitama's getting scared. Like, he's just like, oh no, I've made a huge mistake. It goes into this whole thing where if you're watching it for the first time, you're like, oh man, like, has he met his match? Like, will he not be able to one punch his way out of this? And you're seeing just this fear in his eyes. But then the longer he goes on, he's just like, if he's going to be in Carnage mode for a whole week and it won't stop until Saturday, that means today is also Saturday. And he's like, that's when the supermarket sale is too. And I'm not going to be able to make it today because I'm here.
Oh, my God.
He's just flipping out over that. And then he does this thing, like he's getting knocked around the room while he's doing his internal monologue, knocked around the room by Kabuto. And then all of a sudden he just like does one of those quick uppercuts and it just makes Carnage Kabuto in his strongest mode just explode. And he doesn't think much of it. Like everyone else is, impressed and everything, but he doesn't think anything of it. He's just like, oh my God, like I'm bummed that we're not going to get to go to the supermarket. But Genos is like, he's like, it's only, what did he say? Like it's only 6 p.m. or it's only 4 p.m. or something.
And it ends at like 10. So he's like, we still have a few hours.
Yeah, we still have a few hours. If we really hurry, we can get there. And so he's so excited. He's like, you're saying we can still make it? And so he's just like, all right, Genos, let's go. And they just rush out the wall. He punches through the wall so they can go faster. And this whole time, you've got this scientist guy who's just like, man, I think I'm done with evolution.
He's just like, I need to stop.
Yeah, I'm the one who needs to change here.
I like, too, that when he's talking about how, like, his training regimen and stuff like that that's why he's bald. Is I trained so hard I went bald.
Yeah.
And that's how you know that you're doing it right.
That, and also he says, like, during those 3 years, even though you might want to, don't turn on the AC and don't turn on the heater. You just have to strengthen your mind and your body.
Exactly. Yes.
That's something I want to try. Not necessarily that part of it, but I do want to try that like push-ups, sit-ups, crunches thing.
You got to do it all, and you can't use AC or heat.
I got to do it if I want to be a hero. So the last episode of today's show was The Strongest Hero, season 1, episode 12, and this was the highest rated, and also the last episode of season 1. In this one, Saitama takes on the alien leader in epic battle as the S card heroes as the S-class heroes fight the alien warriors and destroy the spaceship.
All right, there's so much going on here, and I had no idea what was going on at the beginning. So I need you to fill in some gaps for me, because there's so many characters when this episode starts.
Yeah, the only gap I think that I can really fill in, because I haven't watched the ones in between in a while either, were at a certain point, I think it might even be like the end of episode 4 or 5, like Genos tells Saitama that he could be making money off being a hero, and he's surprised by that. So he's like, what? So he tells him about the class he can take, or the way he can apply for it for the Hero Association. He takes a physical exam and then has to do an essay as well. And of course, he aces the physical exam, but he like bombs the essay, so he only makes a 71 on the test, where Genos makes a perfect 100. So Genos gets to be an S-class hero, and Saitama's stuck as like a low-class C-class hero.
Nice.
Even though he's considerably stronger, he just messed up on that essay. So he gets upgraded to a class B hero after he beats this like underwater sea monster boss or something. And that's what kind of brings us here, where it's like you've got these other S-class heroes. These aliens are invading, looking for like a challenge or something, or the big boss of them is Lord Boros. And so that's kind of what sets the stage for where we are right now, where Saitama is fighting against the evolved form of Boros. And the alien spaceship is kind of hovering over the Earth, over City A, I think it is.
Okay.
They're on some like supercontinent where it's like City A through City Z are what we're kind of exploring and what we're spread around. So it's like, I guess, the whole alphabet of cities.
So kind of a fantasized version of Earth, like a sci-fi fantasized.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's all kinds of goofy looking characters. There's like this green-haired girl that like is hovering everywhere. There's a little kid with metal spider legs coming out of his backpack, which is hilarious. There's this guy named, is it Silverfang? He looks like Dr. Giro from DBZ for sure.
Yeah, exactly. He's just an old man, but he's like super powerful.
Yeah, and there's that's like probably not even half. There's like tons of these other, I guess, heroes and stuff like that there, and they're all like really interesting in their own ways. Like their designs are pretty funny or interesting, or their personalities are really interesting. So like, and this is the interesting when I mean good interesting, not like when you don't like something and they're like, what do you think of this? And you're like, oh, that's interesting. No, these were actually cool characters.
Yeah, so you've got all this huge group of heroes who are trying to just fight these aliens off. There's this one who's out there, or really like, I guess most of them are out there like fighting and regenerating constantly. Like they'll destroy them, the heroes will destroy the aliens, but then they'll regenerate. And that's when I think it's Silverfang notices that this thing's been reviving itself all around an area of its head. So he notices this orb that's there. During one of its regenerations, he grabs it and just crushes it and kills the alien. So they keep regenerating, but they do have a core that they're regenerating around.
One thing that I thought was interesting is like Saitama's really not, at least in this episode, he's not fighting back much. He's just kind of letting Boros do his thing, and he's destroying all kinds of stuff, and he's more like, you know, dodging things or getting punched around, and he's not like, I mean, he could probably at least keep him from doing damage and stuff, but he doesn't really seem interested in it. He's just kind of hanging out. I do like when Boros like punches him all the way to the moon. He like gets up and jumps back to Earth, and it cracked me up how nonchalant he was when he gets back. He's just like, cool, I made it back.
Yeah, cool, I made it. Yeah. When he's up there on the moon, just to show that he's not like, it's not like he can breathe up there. He holds his nose and like holds his breath, crouches down and just leaps back. So he wasn't even sure like if he would make it back.
He's just like, huh. But it's like not like he was even like scared about it. It was just more like interested, like, wonder if this will work. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think a big reason why he's not really fighting back much is that he's kind of enjoying the thrill of meeting an adversary who can actually stand toe to toe with him.
Yeah.
Or so he thinks, at least. Or I guess he's just trying to push that out of him. it's not like Dragon Ball Z where he's not like Vegeta who lets Cell evolve into his perfect form because he's looking for more of a challenge. Like he's not that arrogant. He's just kind of subtly waiting for Boros to kind of unleash his full attacks on him.
Yeah, and like he actually, what was interesting too is he did hit Boros several times and it didn't kill him. Like he just keeps kind of
regenerating,
coming back together and stuff. I did like his little like consecutive normal punches, and he just keeps punching. And then his he goes, "Oh, I guess I'll do my final move," and he's like, "Serious punch."
Boros was saying before that even happens that he's saying like, he makes me want to go all out. Like he's getting so angry that Saitama is just standing up to all of these powerful moves, like his meteoric burst and collapsing star roaring cannon. Like that's his super move. And that's when Saitama counters with his super move, which is the killer move, serious punch. That hits him so hard. It doesn't even look much different from his normal punches, but it hits Boros so hard that not only does it destroy his physical body, but it also cracks his orb that he's regenerating around. So that's what ultimately ends up kind of doing him in.
Yeah, he's like, you were holding back the whole time. And I was like, dang, so Saitama just basically let that dude do so much damage to Earth, and like the city and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like he's not that concerned about like people around him. It's almost like becoming so strong, becoming like the world's strongest man has kind of like hollowed him out, like hollowed his feelings out, and he's just kind of emotionless now. He doesn't feel much happiness or sadness or anything or much thrill. He's just kind of there. He's very neutral.
Yeah, I like that in the a Superman kind of sense. Like I feel like if DC were ever to be like, wow, we really need to like do this thing and actually do it right, with Superman. Like I think it is interesting. They need something, and that something's got to be Lois, that always keeps Superman grounded to humanity, because he could easily become, just sort of numb to everything because he's too strong.
Well, that's almost like not exactly, but almost like Injustice was.
Exactly.
Like the whole reasoning behind it. Yeah.
Metal Knight shows up late. He's another one of the characters, and he's kind of just salvaging some of the ship that got destroyed. But like someone had told Genos that
Drive Knight. Yeah, Drive Knight had told Genos earlier that Metal Knight is your enemy and stay away from him.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see where that goes, and I'm guessing that's kind of the setup for season 2. So I'm looking forward to see what happens there. The one thing I liked was that what was the girl with the green hair?
Tornado.
So she she gets mad at Genos at one point and like kind of hits him, and he gets slammed into this rock, and Saitama tries to help him by like pulling him out of it, but he accidentally pulls his arm off, and he's like, "Oh, your arm fell off." That was great.
Also, we see handsome Kamen Amai Mask come in, who's a Class A, who's like the rank 1 Class A hero.
Okay, I was wondering what his deal is.
Yeah, I don't know that much about him. There's still some mystery shrouded around him, but in this, he comes in, like, there's these aliens who were on the ship that was destroying Earth. Like, the ship has crashed now, and they survive, but they're tied up, and the heroes are sort of confronting them. And then Amai Mask comes in and just destroys them, just kills them instantly, and basically just says, they were evil. They didn't deserve to live. They were evil. So we see, like, this guy is probably more powerful than he even lets on. Genos thinks he kind of understands because he feels he's come from some sort of dark past. And Genos says it reminds him of himself before he met Saitama, a man on edge, eager to eliminate evil.
It's very edgelord of them,
Yeah,
yeah. Oh, I love it.
I mean, that's what kind of takes us to the credits. And the way it kind of wraps up is you see that, like, with the things that Metal Knight has gathered from the alien ship, like, they've built up the Hero Association that used to just be like a small tower into some large fortress, an impenetrable fortress with roads coming out of it that are leading to all the different cities for quicker access for all the heroes. And then we cut to the credits after that, and we see City Z being destroyed and City Y being under attack by Pluton, king of the underworld, who's like some giant looking pig monster, or it looks like it's like dressed like a pig monster or something.
Yeah.
It's talking about how humanity's wasting its existence on gluttony, littering the earth with worthless objects. And then that's when we see Genos and Saitama come in and again, killing things in one punch again. And he's so frustrated. And that's how this first season closes out.
What a ride. What a ride it took us on, Joseph.
I know. I honestly, I can't wait to hear what your thoughts are on it because I was excited for you to watch this because I knew how good it was.
Well, with that said, then maybe we should do that thing.
Let's do that thing. So it looks like it's about time we send our inner kids off to train under Saitama while also helping him get to the grocery store before 10 p.m. Then see what they thought of the show, One Punch Man.
This show is super cool because Saitama was all strong and no one could beat him, but he's just like, cool, whatever, because he's the best. So I gave this cartoon 5 bowls of killer, serious cereal out of 5.
To parallel Saitama's challenge with video games, it's like he's playing on very easy, with permanent invincibility and unlimited lives. That might be fun for a couple minutes, but it would get boring very quickly. With that in mind, I can absolutely understand and appreciate the philosophy behind this show and see the unique challenges that being all-powerful brings. The characters are all great, the action sequence is superb, and the animation itself is absolutely perfect for the content. Overall, I'd give One Punch Man 5 big bowls of consecutive normal punch cereal out of 5. Whether you're a fan of anime or not, I still think you should give this one a shot.
It was good, man. It was good. I'm glad that that your kid was able to wind it up and really get to the punch of the story there.
Oh my.
I know. I was reaching.
Well, episode's over.
Yeah,
it's over.
We're canceled.
I'm hitting stop right now.
Nerd Sloth just
the whole
canceled
show's
us.
canceled.
Even the network is just like, you're done. We run the network and we got canceled.
Yeah, I'm glad you liked it. Like, it seemed like something that'd be right up your alley with the humor and the awesome action scenes.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it a lot, and because we're kind of getting there, I'm just going to get into the closing comments, and I'll start with mine this time. It'll be different. I think it was great. I went in not having a lot of expectations other than knowing people love it, and wasn't really sure why. And it ended up being way more than I expected. I love the idea of this guy that's just so strong. He's just jaded and more focused on something like a sale at a market than defeating monsters or saving the city, which is just it's clever, it's funny, it's got tons of action, and yeah, the humor was just right up my alley. I just love how just nonchalant and deadpan he is in these situations. So it's something I definitely want to watch the rest of, and definitely going to continue it and watch season 2 and anything that comes after, maybe some of the OVAs. And so if you friends are interested in it, you should definitely check it out because it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, like I was saying, I don't even think you have to like anime to like this one because it just plays so much differently than a lot of other animes and or superhero things that I've seen. So I really appreciate that about the show. Another one I want to check out after I finish this one, because I'm definitely going to, there's the next one by the same creator. One is called Mob Psycho 100. And I hear that's kind of even closer to his vision or his original artwork and stuff. So I'm curious to see how that one is because I've heard good things about it. I don't know much, but if it's anything like this, at least in the style and or storytelling, then I'm in.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to check it out because I loved this and any more of this that I can consume, I'm going to do it.
So thanks, David Bond, for bringing this up. It was one we definitely had intended to watch anyway, so it's just perfect timing.
Yeah, what's funny is we were talking about maybe doing a anime month at some point in the future, and we were just like, well, we got to do One Punch Man for that. That was the day we literally ended up getting this on the list, and we're like, whoa, what? So it was meant to be. So thank you.
It was. One Punch Man reached out to us.
One Punch Man, like Saitama punched our list. And that's what happened. That's how we ended up getting it.
He punched his way into our lives and our hearts.
He punched his way through my soul. So I was very happy to watch this. So yes, thank you.
Yes. So, well, listeners, looks like the milk supply is now run dry. So it's time for us to say goodbye. And next week, we'll be watching
Teen Titans, suggested via Reddit by Christopher1295.
So this is the OG Teen Titans?
OG Teen Titans, bro.
You know what? I'm kind of glad we're watching it in reverse where we saw, I mean, we haven't seen the series of Teen Titans Go, but we saw the movie, which was awesome.
I loved that movie. Yes.
Yeah, it was so good.
And I've watched a little bit of Teen Titans Go just this past weekend because we were staying in a little hotel-y place. And there's a couple times there was literally nothing on, but we saw Teen Titans Go, so we watched a little bit of that, and it was decent.
Okay.
I know a lot of people aren't big fans of it, but I think it's kind of funny. But I do know some OG Teen Titans, so I'm very excited for that.
Yeah, like I just keep seeing it being compared to the OG Teen Titans, which I'm pretty familiar with, but it's been a long time since I've seen it, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll hold up, but I don't know how well we'll see. I'm excited to watch it, though.
Me too.
Once again, I'm Joseph.
And I'm not, but I am Chris.
And we'll see you next Saturday. Hurry up, let's go to the grocery store before 10 p.m. We can still catch the sale.
Presented by NerdSloth, a place for lazy nerds.
If you like what you heard, consider donating at patreon.com/nerdsloth so we can continue bringing you quality shows. Be sure to also leave us a review and share your favorite episodes and clips on social media. If you're looking for more content, visit us at nerdsloth.com.